people. Hello, it's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I am here with our very last project number 7 of the Bargain Bead Box November mini-series, and it is a bracelet, and I'm excited about it. So let's get on down to the mat and see what we can do. Okay guys, here we are on the mat. This is what we have left for the Bargain Bead Box. And we are going to make us a bracelet. Now, I had to go back and I had to rewatch some of the video that said what I was actually going to be doing for this. And I had said maybe we will do a little bit of wire wrapping or something to bring some interest to this. So we will take a look-see. We will take a look-see at what we can do with it. I hear Lily barking upstairs. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna move this a little bit over. There we go. Okay. So we have the beads, and I had thought, you know, we will maybe add a little bit of interest on the charm end here, and maybe a little bit of wire wrapping. Now, I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna look, but we shall see. Actually, I think what I'm going to do, since I have this little piece of soft flex left, I'm going to go ahead and just use this. And I think we'll just focus on the charm part of this. Okay, I'm thinking. So I could just use a toggle. I could use a toggle, right? Let me see. I wonder. Wonder. Okay. So, you know what? We had one toggle left. As you will remember, we used these two parts. This one we used in a necklace as a necklace charm, and then we had that leftover toggle. And so this has just come to me. Oh, here it is. So this was our extra toggle. So I wonder, I'm going to save this one just to see if this is possible. I'm not making any promises here, but this is our last project, so I'm like, maybe it'll be possible. It is unclear. So let me see the construction of this in my brain. So this should be able to be the other part of the toggle, right? So we use it like so. This would dangle down. We could put charms on there. But how are we going to connect to here? We could just interloop it. I think we could. I really think we could. Okay, so let's give it a whirl. It may work, it may not. If it doesn't, well then you know what not to do. So, let me grab up a couple of crimps, and to start out, I'm going to take the one extra toggle that we had. I'm going to put it on here, and I'm just going to crimp my soft flex onto it. I'm thinking this design is going to give me what I wanted of the design element. You know, I wanted a little something different, but I didn't know what it was. So we'll see. We'll see if it works. Because it's in my head, and I got to get it out of my head. I don't know if that, guys, ever happens to you. If that happens, and you're like, I have this idea. I wonder if it'll work. If it does, I think this will be quite cool. So I've crimped. I'm doing the pull test. It looks good. I'm going to go ahead and just start putting on the beads. I have a little bit of tail there, a little extra tail. I kind of enjoy that. Makes me feel safe. Security purposes, you know. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay, I'll start beading this up. And I'm going to bead up about 5 inches. So we have a little time to work with our leather there and see, you know, what we can actually do with it. Okay, so now, I don't know what this dog is barking about. She's just barking. Okay, so let me measure this with my froggy tape. Here it is. Oop. So about 5 inches of beading there. So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to put this over here in the front. I'm going to start working with this little piece of leather. So my idea is that I should be able to make a barrel knot. Hold on. I want to have one shorter and one longer. So this is just a little piece of scrap leather that I found in my drawer here. 2, 3, and I'm gonna go through there. And it's a little short, but we're gonna make it work. So I'm gonna pull it down and start maneuvering this knot around, because it's got to be big enough to fit the toggle through, but not so big that it's going to cause problems, right? So I want to make sure it's tight. And it could be a little bigger. Okay. About like that. Yeah, okay. So that was going to be my knot. Now, I am going to hit this with a little dab of glue, just to be safe. I'm going to let that dry. Alright, so now I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So we got about 5 inches here, and I'm going to start putting a couple of these spacers on. I'm going to put 2, 3 spacers and a bead. 1, 2, 3 spacers. Oh, that one's got a problem. 3 spacers and a bead. Okay. And 1, 2, 3 spacers and a bead. Okay. So we're looking pretty good. I don't want to get it too long because we are going to hook onto this, which is going to give us a little extra length. So I think maybe what I will do here is I could actually tie another knot in the other side. It's a smidge sticky still. So let me try that, see what that does for me. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then through this entire thing, hopefully with my little tiny tail. See if that'll work. And I mean, for the most part, it's going to work. And then this one is a little loose, so I am going to be able to pull up on it if you want to. If you don't want to, you can go ahead and can make this one smaller, or you could put a little smidge of glue, tie it off, you know, that kind of thing. So I think what I'm going to do with this is I am going to make it a little small, because remember, these are in essence slip knots. Okay, so let me show you what I got. And because I'm going to hook this on as a connector, so I don't know if I can get through this one. Looks like it's pretty well painted shut, so I am just going to leave these others off to the side. I'm going to get myself a crimp bead, go into the smaller hole in the leather that I've made, and then bring that back through the beadwork. A little ways. And I don't need this to be super tight on there because I want my beads to be able to make a bracelet shape, right? Gravity and such. So I'm going to give them a little space to move around, and then I'm going to go ahead and crimp. Going into the first one, give it a little kiss, spin it, and go into the eye. Looks pretty good. Trim it off. Okay, so now I am able to actually make this loop even smaller, and I'm going to make it a little smaller, bring it around the back here, tie a little knot, put a little dab of glue on, and trim this off. Where's the glue? Here it is. I'm just gonna stick a little smidge in there. There we go. And I'm gonna trim that. I'll just give that a little hot second to dry up before I start messing around with it some more. In the interim, I'm going to look for maybe a couple little random charms I have laying around just on my table or in my studio that could work with this bracelet. I have lots of charms. I'm sure you guys do as well. But I think that this could just use one little charm maybe. Let's see what I got. Now this little case was courtesy of Fancy Nancy. Fancy Nancy sells her beads on her bead stash on Facebook. If anybody is curious, I'll link her down below. This is cute. Like a little leaf. A little elephant. Now that did not come from Fancy Nancy. Those came from Rebecca, but they're super cute. I think I'm just going to go with this little leaf. It looks very cute. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. I'm not going to make it super overly complicated or anything. I'm really just going to hook it on with a jump ring. So let me get that. But I think maybe I will just to spice things up just a smidge. I'm going to zoom you in. We're at zoom. Okay, so oh, there it is. And get my charm ready. And is this all the way dry? It doesn't look all the way dry. But I am going to hook this charm into this little leather piece. Okay. That's pretty good. I like that. You guys see that? So let me check on this little glue situation. I'm just going to use a little baggie. Yeah, it's not quite dry yet. But the idea then would to be use this toggle just like you would a normal toggle to go around like so. I don't want to smooch it up too much before it dries, but I'm pretty happy with this. Now, if you were better at making knots than me and you knew how to make some really cool barrel knots or some different kind of knots, this would be cute. See, my problem was when I tried to make a double loop like this, so 2 on both sides. I've never done that before, but I mean, in essence, I think it turned out pretty well. You can see. And I think I'll just hit that little white piece with a brown Sharpie. No harm, no foul, no worries. And there we go. How big is it? It is exactly an average 7. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good out of 10. I like it. Well, there you go.